Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.
Okay, so let's reconvene, and before we continue, what I want to just each one of you just share the most valuable learning from the morning session. What is the most things you just really clicked with or have an aha moment?
Just like the way you can speak to someone and see the way you can speak to someone and understand them quicker and easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kevin, what?
Yeah, I learned to talk about the why and to connect with people's benefits.
Okay.
So that's what I learned.
And I think for me, in my marketing materials, almost the color coding thing, just to make sure you really are touching on everything well enough.
Okay.
The sales materials. So I'm kind of curious almost to go back and do that. Because I know I've touched on a few of them, but I don't know to what extent.
Yeah, so one of the exercises we do here, that's why you have this color bin, because we usually do this all the time. People will bring in, will bring the material and just use it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we talk about sales, and when we want to talk about sales process, it has always to go back to the sales cycle or the sales process from here. So the question from here, what are the type of closing you would like to move in each stage? So are we closing all the conversation in the same way, or we have different type of closer?
Different types of closing depending on the...
So what are the different type of closing? So for example, if I'm closing a lead to prospects, what kind of closing I can have?
Email, number.
Or a meeting. So I can close on a meeting. I can close on a demo. I can close on a follow-up. I can close on a purchase. I can close in a different type of closing. So there are different types of closing which you need to understand, and we don't mix them all the time. So when I talk to a prospect, I want to know what kind of closing I'm targeting. Okay? So if you go to your book here, you will find on page 33 there is 24 type of closing. So if you go to the index, if you go to the index, which is on page 2, you will see there is a closing on appointment. There is an next page. There is a approach closing, demonstration closing, hot button closing, trial, power of suggestions, invitational closing, just suppose closing, sudden death, sharp angle, instant reserve, and the rest of them. So all of these are different set of closing. So you should be able to be clear which one you would like to close to. If 24 are too many, you have to understand one thing. Commonly, how many closing do you have? 1 or 2 or 3. In a common practice, we don't have the 24 closing. But the book has to be general enough to talk about the different closing techniques. So in responding based on this material, there is, if you decide what kind of closing you have, there is a concept we use called feel, felt, found. Do you know this concept before?
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, did you hear about this concept? If somebody gives you an objection, how can you use this concept?
You understand how they feel. Someone else has felt the same before, but what they found was...
Yep.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Straight up.
I haven't done that in years, or even thought about this
Oh,
in
no.
years and years and years, though.
Yeah.
Okay?
Always
So
agree.
I had one individual here who used to be in engineering sales, and he's now a business coach. And he said, yeah, they taught me this 32 years ago, and I used it in my business till I start to become a business coach, and I never used it again.
Why?
I asked him the same question. Because he did not learn it in this concept. He learned it in the concept of selling equipment. So if somebody give you an objection, and this objection not necessarily toward your sales process, this objection may be what? Toward life. Do you like to go out for a dinner tonight? No, I don't like. I know how you feel. You don't want to go for dinner, and almost every day we feel like almost every day you felt like you have to go back to sleep early because you have work. However, if you go out and we had enough fun, you may be able to come and sleep better because we will basically walk outside to the dinner place and we'll have dinner and come back.
That's a game changer.
This what?
So that's a game changer. I should use that.
Straight up.
I'm gonna use that
Okay.
today.
Well, that's persuasion 101. Persuasion 101.
The thing is, I don't think I've ever used that in my day-to-day, but when I first, like one of my first sales jobs, I used it all the time.
You kill me.
That's funny, but I never
And
think
this
to
is the
use it.
difference which
Yeah.
I wish. I cannot repeat how many times I wish. I wish when you walk out from these doors today, you don't talk about the sales job. Because sales is not a job. Sales is an attitude and a living style, because we have to sell our good company, we have to sell our safe environment, we have to sell how to have good time together, how to have fun, how to enjoy. So sales is not a job. I will not tell you, because you don't know the next one to you might be the most valuable customer you ever have. If you come and say sales is my job, it means what? It means I'm judging. I am judging the one next to me that they will buy or not.
True.
I am judging when my time I use as sell. Number one reason to be successful in sales is doing what? I told you what we do with this information.
Applying it?
We don't judge people.
Oh.
So number one attribute for a successful salesperson and the closer is what? They never judge people. We don't judge them. They are not good or bad. They are not buying or not buying. We cannot judge. If you know that the one next to you will not buy from you, will you approach them to accept your service or
No.
subscribe?
No.
Will you?
Well, my target market is very specific. Maybe there's a friend of a friend or something, but mine's so specific that I kind of...
Do you know what my market I'm serving without talking to me? Do you know what's her market?
Without talking, no.
So if you walk in the room and say, yeah, this cool people here, I am not selling to them because they are not in my target market. It means what? I am judging that they are not my
Market.
client. You don't know that I may know somebody,
Yeah.
and you don't know that maybe my dad, my granddad, maybe my brother, maybe my sister, maybe whoever in my circle is looking at the exact same service and product you offer. You never know without
I agree.
having conversation. So if I walk to the room, I judge, oh, you know what, I'm going in today and I'm not selling to anybody because none of these people is interested in what I'm doing. I will walk in, oh yeah, you know, I'm here wasting my time with these guys, they will not buy what I'm doing. I will go in, I will stand in the back of the room because I'm really feel like I don't belong to here, I cannot connect with them, nobody here is buying from me. What will happen?
That's
basically-
exactly what will happen.
You are basically killing your business.
Yeah.
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 So why you don't have the attitude of we walk in, be open, no judgment, be ready to talk about our business, and if somebody will come and click or create a connection with my business, I will give them the benefits and ask them if these people will know somebody who can take advantage of my business. Does this make sense to you guys? So what's your target market?
I guess it depends how you define sales.
Everyone.
You know?
It's every day activities, right? Is everyday activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is the disadvantage of I know how you feel, everybody felt the same, but they found what's the disadvantage of this?
Disadvantage?
Yeah.
You can reuse it.
You
or
cannot-
too often.
Yeah, you
Over
cannot
and
use
over.
it as often, that's right?
Mhm.
So you have to have alternative techniques. However, the framework is very simple. The framework is you accept what the other party will say, and you acknowledge, and then you do it. You will advance to the next level.
That's sweet.
So if I acknowledge, if I accept, acknowledge, and then advance to where I want to go.
Mhm.
This is the powerful of this technique.
Mhm.
So if I start with asking you a question, why should I listen to you? What's your answer?
I can see how you'd feel. I don't know. You just
Why should I
accept.
listen to you?
I understand how you feel. Most people have actually felt the same way. But what I'd like to do, I want to. Most people have also learned from me. And this person here, he has 10x his own business by attending my course.
Okay. So what will come? So do you see how he handled it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sounds good.
what you will come after found? What will come here?
Yeah.
I have to do it in this way to remind you guys. So when I say, yeah, I know how you feel, you don't want to talk to me, and when I approach so many other people, they had the same feeling, by the way. You're not the only one. It's the same as Fajr. Has the same feeling, you know. However, when people connect with me, they had the following benefits. So here you talk about the benefits
Hey, let's go.
I like that. Yeah.
and how the benefits are. They are 4 colors, that's right. So which color you start with? Remember, the benefits were 4 colors, that's right. So which segment from the benefit you will start with? The benefits which relate to the
yeah.
individual personality. So if he's a CEO of a company, believe me, majority of the CEO are time and are money and the time process, or time and money prospects. They don't care about people. Okay. So when I approach them with benefits, I can articulate the various benefits. Okay. So if somebody will come and say, why should I listen to you, or why should I even care, what they mean? What do they mean? If I come say, okay, so what do you do? What do you do?
I sell the experience of African food at home.
Why should I care?
It reduces the amount of time.
And this is where it stops. Because why should I care is the same objection as why should I listen to you?
Oh, yes.
I know how you feel. I know that you may not care about the African. However, many people did not care about it. And however, when you have a new experience, this is what you articulate. That's right.
Yeah.
So why should I care? Why should I listen to you? Why should I pick up this phone call? All of them means what? Do they really mean that they are not interested?
More information.
They need more information, that's right. They should give us. So a standard individual, or a standard, they call it the awesome or the superstar, and they call it the regular salesman. The regular salesperson will feel in his inside, nobody likes me. Everybody question why. I'm not sure what's wrong with me. Is my suit is not ironed enough? I don't have the right outfit. I don't have the right color. I'm not the right height. This is what goes through people who don't understand the objections. But if a sales superstar will believe what in his mind? Awesome. I have now a venue to articulate more about
Benefits.
my benefits.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Does this make sense?
Instead of kind of shutting down, it's actually still an opportunity for dialogue.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you'll realize also that's the same objections over and over and over again. So it's kind of like it's nothing personal. It's just almost like it's just like normal.
Yeah. They want
It's
to know
just
more.
part of the.
So if we come and say, okay, so how we can handle these objections? The first one is you need to take your time. If somebody will give you an objection, you need to do it. Take your time. Don't rush into the answer.
I find that hard sometimes because it seems like they're like in such a rush, like they're not even listening. Like I'll be at like the till at the front, and then you've got customer coming, and then they're like looking out the door, you know. And it's like, well, let's go over here to have the meeting, but you know they're kind of manning the front, but like this because I have a small business owners, right? So
And
sometimes
this
you
is-
get to sit down, and sometimes you don't.
And
it's
this is
like,
awesome.
it's-
If you take your time, you know what you will do?
they'll slow down too. I know I have to like take a deep breath because I know they're looking over there and pushing around, but it's
Yeah,
kinda
like when I
feel
close,
rushed.
Yeah.
one of the closer is I close on silent.
Mm.
And this is very, I know if Mike is here, Mike will say this is very intimidating. So somebody will say, okay, you know, I don't have that kind of money for your service. So I will be quiet. And you'll be shocked that the one cross of the table, what they will say.
To just start talking. Yeah.
Yes. So some people will come and say, how do you mean close on silent? I can tell you, silent has its own magic. If I walk to the stage here and I stand in a silent way, quiet, everybody will look to you, no matter what will happen. If I want to close and I want to make sure you understand what I said, I give it a pause. I give it a silence. You will be shocked that people will actually reflect without even asking for reflection. Why do you talk? Because silent has its own power to invite the cross of the table to speak their mind. You get more information on silent than asking question. But you have to be master in it. You cannot do it for like 30 minutes, okay? Like
Just sit there for 20 minutes.
it cannot be more than 10 seconds. 10 to 15 seconds max.
That long?
Yeah, 10 seconds max.
Probably feels forever.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
You know?
it's powerful.
It's
Yeah.
very powerful. Why do we need to have alternative closing? Because if we repeat the same objections, overcoming objections all the time, what will happen?
Sounds fake.
We'll look fake. So take your time is very important. The second one is clarify objections.
Clarify?
Clarify objections. I have to know how deep is the objection. That's right.
Yeah.
So if somebody will come have and say, oh, I don't have money. Oh, so when is you? I understand you don't have money. Money is tight. Can you let me know when is your budget cycle start? Would you allow me to work with you on find out creative techniques to fund this particular service? So in this way, I create a dialogue, that's right? You have to choose your words carefully. So I share this kind of feedback. I had a friend from Jordan, and he used to run multiple stores. He owns multiple stores. One of them is they fix cell phones and they fix computers. And when somebody will come to me and say, okay, can you help me with this computer? For example, he say, yeah, it will cost you like $200 to recover your data. So the guy will say, oh, why is it too expensive? So what's his answer? His answer was very strange. He said, oh, if I can do it cheaper, I would not quote you that much money. So that what the response will be? Thank you, and they leave. But if somebody will come to me and say, why is too expensive? I say, yeah, I know how you feel it's maybe expensive. Expensive compared to what?
Yeah.
Expensive compared to what will means what? Means I wanna dig inside your biased interpretation of the word expensive to know what are you comparing to. That's right? If somebody will come to me, it's too expensive, I say, have you ever purchased this service before?
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay? What do you mean, have you ever purchased this service before? Or when's the last time you acquired or you purchased such a product? Make sense? So you have to use your word carefully. You have to take a deep breath, and you should watch the pace of your speech. Because I can run or I can feel uncomfort. So when I feel uncomfort, majority of us will have uncomfort time talking about money.
Yeah.
That's right. Why you have why when you deal with money you feel uncomfort?
Are you asking the question?
Yeah.
People are broke.
It's not people are broke. It's because you don't value what you offer at the same price. That's right. Why do you always have bad relation with money?
Because you don't know how to treat money properly.
You don't know how to treat money properly. That's right. So if you talk to individuals and then you find they have trouble, you will feel it. So you will feel they are not genuine. That's right. So you have to watch the pace of your speech. It's very important.
How would you consciously watch? Because like you said, you get uncomfortable when you're talking to certain topics. So then, like, I find that when you speak, you tend to talk faster when you get uncomfortable.
So if you know you are not comfortable talking to different topics, you have a mirror somewhere.
Yeah.
Better rehearse, bro.
You stand in front of the mirror and talk about the topic to you in front of the mirror.
Yeah.
The next step is you pick up your best friend Kevin,
Role play.
and you can talk to him. If you feel uncomfort about specific topic, bring it over and over and over in what we call it customizable audience. Bring it over and over. Like, for example, if you have a new offer, what I do is like I sometimes go to my customers and my friends, say, okay, let me share with you my new offer. And then I will be talking in the great details. And my wife said, oh, you talk to them too much. Why do they need all this information? They are not buying. I'm not selling them anything. I want to feel comfort talking in front of people who will not relate. To get what?
That's a cool way
To get
thinking.
their
Interest.
it's boring. When I got these feelings in front of me and I keep going, guess what will happen when I go in front of individuals who can relate to my service? What I will do?
You got it. Yeah,
I will be better performing. It will be easy. For me, when I don't practice, when I go on a vacation for a year, I went one time for a vacation on a year and a half, and my business here was growing. When I came back, I could not interact with people. It took me like 3 months to get myself back back again on the track, because it's a talent. If you don't work on it, you lose it, kind of.
Like a muscle.
It's like a muscle. You practice on it.
The more you work on
It
it,
feels more natural.
So when somebody come and say, why should I listen to you? And you should practice this in a next meetup. Go to individual and say, can I ask a question? Why should I listen to you here? You'll be shocked. People say, oh, what do you mean? You don't know who I am? I did that. Doesn't matter. You did what you did for your life. Why should I listen to you? It means, what value will I get?
Yeah.
It means why you are important to me. Make sense? The number 7 dealing with objections is you must listen.
Sorry, where are we now?
We are on this book on page 11, which will be page 13
Oh, okay.
on this format.
Okay.
You can flip to page 13. You are more.
Okay. I guess I want to see what's coming. I didn't look at
So-
yet, but
You should listen, and it's not only listening. What's really important is not to listen. What important is to listen and to watch for what? To watch for this. That's right. When somebody come and say, yeah, you know what, I don't think this is for me. So how I respond to that?
Why do you think it's not for you?
Oh, this is very dangerous. If you reply with a question, it means what?
Oh, that's
Not
an
listening.
automatic no.
This is confronting.
Yeah.
This is interrogation. That's right.
Oh, really?
So yeah,
I was told to do that.
not right away. You have to use the sandwich technique, and I'll explain the sandwich technique in a few minutes. So when you say, can you repeat what you said?
Okay. Why do you think you?
None of your business.
Or I see it as avoidance. It's like
None
they
of your
ask-
business. This is my answer. None of your business. What happened now? The
Well,
communication is what?
It's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
And you know, you signed on a wafer, so there is no offense. I'm not offending anybody, okay? We are role playing here. It's a very safe environment, so nobody will come and say, yeah, I harmed their feelings, okay? We just here. That's why in the very beginning we have to know each other, and we have to have this non-related 2.5 hours presentation, so you guys can feel comfort.
So it's
So when you come and say, why, you never ask the word why.
never.
You should ask what, not why.
What if it depends on the cue?
what?
What's your objection? What's your reason? What's the difference between why and what's your reason?
Okay, what's your reason? Okay.
What's the difference between why? Why it's very, why I have
Sounds like
not,
you're like a child almost. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's just your
Yeah,
tone
no,
of
I
voice.
understand.
don't
I
know.
see where
from
you're
the
going.
psychologists and the communication experts, they said why, it's an interrogation. I have to but if you say, what's your reasons? So bring any questions you want to ask and start with what?
I find that uncomfortable
Yeah.
when people ask me why, especially bosses and stuff.
See, and it doesn't bother me. I don't get defensive when someone
I
asks
do.
me why.
All the time.
I feel
But
like
like
it's
we
a
are
I
not
think from
talking
my
about us.
perspective, I'm talking about that person.
About their
Exactly.
perspective.
Yeah.
Okay? Number 8, we have to answer the right objection. Number 9, we have to ask a question, and the top 10 tip is you cannot lose what you don't have, what you did not get. What do you mean you cannot lose what you did not get? It doesn't matter. Do you have the sales or not?
No.
Not any, it doesn't matter. So give yourself a deep breath, enjoy, feel yourself, just attack with this plan and see what will happen. Just practice. Make sense?
No means no for now.
Oh,
That's what I learned.
we can talk about means no more for now. Then
Is it also
there are discussions in the book about your pace, but what
does it also depend on like the phrasing, like you said? Does it depend on like the beat? So if it was a relationship, you could ask more bolder questions. If it was personal information, you'd have process information. You'd have to use certain questions,
Yes.
not as bolder.
Yes. If you notice, when we talk about this on page 13, we talk about how you have to answer the right objection. So the question will be: is the first objection or not? Like, is the first objection is the right objection they have?
How can you? Would you be able to tell? Like, is there certain times where you shouldn't pursue it?
You shouldn't pursue it if they say the same objections 3 times in a row.
Okay. Let's do this.
Okay? So the first things come first, and the first things you need to have is you need to believe in what you sell. So I would like you to go inside page 20 and write down under your notes What are you exactly selling? So what are you selling? It's essential to believe in what are you selling. So what are you selling?
Me right now?
Yeah.
I'm selling myself and my ideas.
Okay.
Is that?
Okay. The following source of power will be enthusiasm. So what is your source of enthusiasm? What makes you enthusiastic?
What makes me enthusiastic?
Yes.
Enthusiastic? Oh,
Yes.
okay. Connecting with people.
Okay, so write down connecting with people. So on the following page, which will be page 21, what's your source of power? What's your source of enthusiasm? What will make you enthusiastic about what you do?
Confidence. Trust in the product.
So the question is why you need to write it here. Why do you need to write it here? Because if I want to be enthusiastic in front of somebody, what do I have to remember before I go into conversation? I have to remember what's my power of, what's the source of my power? What will make me enthusiastic? So if you are saying relation with people and connecting with people, this is what has to drive your back mind.
Okay.
The back of your brain must always remember that you are here to connect with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are creating connection. Make sense? Make sense?
No. Could you just tell me more?
Enthusiasm is the most important factor of engaging people. So what's your source of enthusiasm? What makes you enthusiastic?
What's your why?
So if you can write it down in this page, the practice will be is if you want to stand in front of salespeople, of buyer, and you want a buyer to buy from you, what you should use as your memory, as your background.
So what if? So like you were talking about, you had a job, but you didn't believe in the product. How would you?
You don't sell it. You move on.
You move on.
Yeah. If you don't believe in the product, you move on.
Cool. I like that.
Okay? If you don't believe in the products, you don't sell it.
The funny thing is, even I had a business owner that had a tanning salon, but she had actually gotten skin cancer because she used to tan so much. You know, and so you could just, the energy in there was just horrible and everything. But you could just,
That's weird.
yeah. Eventually, obviously, it closed down. But I'm like, it just wasn't in alignment. So she was there and putting the time because she likes tanning, but at the same time, you knew there's a deeper thing with her that she, So she should have left earlier rather than having to go bankrupt.
Yep.
But like that's just like an example. That's like, why is
My
she
dad's
here?
owned the same thing, the tanning salon
Oh.
and whatnot. So that's an interesting.
Well, for
story.
her, she had skin cancer. Some
Yeah.
people, obviously maybe it helps them or did in the past, but
Yeah.
for her it was.
Yeah,
Wow.
she stopped believing in it, like eventually probably part of what her business died of, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Energy you give off is what people want.
For me, energy is everything. But the problem is it makes me procrastinate because I'm like, oh, I'm not, I'm not in the mood today.
You are judging that you are not in the mood today.
What's that?
You are judging that you are not in the mood today.
What does that? What do you mean by that?
No,
You
you
judge.
try to get into it, but some
That's
days,
why if you don't,
That's
if
why
you
you
are
have
not
to
in the
tap
mood,
in.
if you are not in the mood and you
Yeah.
fill the page on 21, you read
Tap
page
into
21.
that. Yeah.
You go back and
Yeah.
read page 21. The main problem with us as a small business owner or working for ourselves is we can sit at home. We don't need to come to work, and nothing will happen. And in 2 months from now, what will happen? We cannot pay anything back. We cannot pay our bills, right?
Yeah.
So
we have to motivate ourselves.
You have to
It's
motivate
really
ourselves.
your-
So judging there's different. So like judging is different meanings. So like you not being in the mood is pretty much judging that the fact that you don't want to do it.
you are not good anymore. So if I'm not in the mood, I want to sit home, I don't feel I want to talk to people, people will not convince with me, I can actually go on one of these and suicide in front of you right now.
Huh?
Yeah, because I'm not in the mood, everything is bad, if I talk, I cannot walk, I will lose my money, I feel so emotionally down, I have no money now, what I will do, I cannot pay myself.
Well, not to that extreme, but
This is, by the way, this is what we call it the T model. In psychology, feeling and thoughts drive emotion, emotion drive actions, action drive thoughts, thoughts drive emotion, action, motion, action. So if I leave you alone, if I leave this guy alone and doesn't, he will be in this loop. And what will happen at 9 o'clock at night? He will not suicide, but he will be more grumpy. He will be not approachable. Okay. So the very first things I do when I have these moods, because biggest 90% of the problem is solved if you are aware of the problem. What I do, I basically, dress up, not dress up and leave the house, and have a walk around.
I love that.
Dress up, not dress. Like sometimes I go to places in a pajama pants and shirts. That's because I want to go and pick up something. I don't care about my
That's what I
look.
do.
Yeah, but
and
if
then you run into a client.
yeah, it's always like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just go to the flow because we want to make sure. So on page 21, you talk about you should expect the best. So if you go to page 22, sorry, you should expect the best. What do you mean you should expect the best? Expect the best outcome. Okay?
That's a tough one.
It's not a tough one. If you talk about law of attraction, if you attract, if you talk about energy, you talk about positive energy. If you talk about reality transurfing, you talk about the pendulum, when the pendulum will move in the. If you talk about 14 belief systems, which I'm very well understanding them, and you talk about 3 Abrahamic religion, all of them are the same. Expect the good, be good, expect the good, good will happen. So why you don't expect the best? So if you walk in the room and say, I will go in here and I will have 2 customers, I am doing my best. We don't try. Word try is not in the vocabulary anymore. I am doing my best to have 2 customers out of this room. What will happen if you walk away from the room of 20 people and you don't have these 2 customers? How you feel? I should feel great because I have an attempt all in, and now I learn when I go again how I'll do it better.
It's interesting. It's cool.
It's not interesting, it's a perspective.
Okay.
So the question to you is your cup half empty or half full? Is it half empty or half full?
Oh, this question always kills me. Half full?
It's not half empty, it's not half full. It's always full all the time with 2 different material because no, a golden fish will die in air, and a butterfly, a shiny colorful butterfly, will die in water. Water has never been indication of goodness, and the air has never been indication of goodness. They are 2 different materials. The fact is, we are trying to build perception and perspective of one fact. It's a water cup which has 2 ingredients, air and water. That's it. I don't give it feelings. If I don't give it feelings, I'm not judging it.
So should we never be driven by our feelings? Should we just
if you are aware, you shouldn't, because the minute you are covered by your feelings, what will happen? I can trigger you now and shout. Like I go to people who are fighting and shouting, and they use the B word and F word and all kind of interesting words. Blah, blah, and I'm very calm. I can raise my voice and can shut everybody up because I use a specific language. I never went to any language, but I'm very determined because my emotions are centered. Mm-hmm. And I do this, and I can turn back and laugh and run with my son and play. And I can do this. Because the minute you stop your emotion from driving you, you are in control. Believe me, you cannot do it all the time, and it takes you lots of training.
Yeah.
And when everybody around you is emotional and you are the odd girl in the room, it's not a funny feeling. Okay, it takes lots of guts of doing it. In sales conversation, you have to control your emotion. Because if I come and say, I don't use this product, what does it mean? I don't use this service. We never publish, we never advertise. What's your answer? A standard sales guy will feel like, oh yeah, you know what? Nobody in need of my service. What should I do here? And the superstar will say, I fully understand not many people actually use it, taking advantage of advertisement. Taking advantage of advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here, I'm more than happy to spend with you a few minutes to demonstrate to you or to show you or to describe to you or to illustrate to you based on the quadrant the current state of the market and how you can advance your business through advertisement like our service. And by the way, I'm not selling you anything. However, if you will give me attention and consideration right now, you may find what I'm doing really useful to you. Alternatively, you can use any other agency. It's not only me. The most important thing for me is to educate you and equip you with what you need to know. Are you ready to listen? What people will say here?
Sure. No.
If they say sure, what does it mean?
They're open.
It's open and it's blank. They sign up a blanket check on their time to take them through the journey. Are you good enough now with your benefits to grab their attention? Do you have the material with you for them to sign up right away?
Oh, that's good. You're too good.
So do you have your contract in your bag? So if any of us here is interested, what will happen?
Well, I mean, in Alberta, it's verbal agreements. You
How about
have to
how
sign the contract? But I mean, you could just do it later, tomorrow.
Okay.
You could.
If I have a hot lead, sorry to use the word hot.
Yeah.
If I have a hot lead not doesn't mean babes, man. Okay, hot lead means somebody. I love when we have different demographics because the minute we laugh on these examples, it will always be memorable. That's right. So you can memorize the situation. The situation right now is you are not ready to cut checks right now and receive money and write contract right now because you don't have anything in you. When I go around, I usually have one of these folders in my car, and I will have the signing sheets in it. If somebody, I don't know, somebody interested, what I will do? Oh, would you mind you sign? But I have to go to washroom, and then I run to my car and bring the washroom. Sometimes I have the signing sheets in my bucket because what I sell is training, is seminars. If someone wants to buy a seminar or sign up to a seminar, they can sign. It's not a big investment, that's right. Sometimes it's just complimentary. Sometimes it's $20. Sometimes it's $300 based on what kind of program. My original program is about $50,000 a year, which I sell it in a different way. So why you don't have a sample of your signing sheet in your bag? You have a very small size purse, I can see. He has a very small briefcase, I can see. Why you don't run around and have samples? I do have samples of my books and my material in my car. As a matter of fact, the books you have in your hand here, they came from my car trunk right now in the morning because I don't have enough copies in my office here. So I'm very open.
Samples in my vehicle.
If you have samples in your vehicle, it's great. Do you have contract in your vehicle?
No.
Can you have next time 1 or 2 blank sheet contracts in your vehicle? You never know.
Yeah, I guess I feel like that's kind of pushy in a way. If it's sold, it's sold, and I deal with it like that evening or that morning, and I just.
My advice to you guys: if someone in front of you, ready to sign, it's mindless compliance. If you give them too quick, if they click their mind to it, they will not do it.
Yeah.
They find all kinds of objections. Oh, you know what? I talked to my wife. I talked to my partner. I talked to my partner. I will share with you a way to do it because I used to empower individuals selling $50,000 to $100,000 solutions a year, subscriptions, and the biggest objections they have is people talk to their partners. And I will share with you in a few moments how you can address this. Okay?
Can I ask, do you have sauce in your vehicle?
No, we've talked about this.
No, we did not talk. We did not talk.
That you could have, 'cause you, like, I mean, that's.
I was so
We did not talk about
Like,
this.
it's a $500
This is your second
program.
workshop here.
Yeah.
And in the first workshop, we had more people around the room, and all of them said,
I would-
"You are just a young woman, or a girl in a different word, a young girl in this business. Everybody here will buy from you a bottle or two for $10 because we would like to just support young entrepreneurs." Full stop. And everybody told her, "Where are your sauces?"
'Cause I would buy one.
I asked
Yeah.
before he even brought you up. He's like, "Yeah, this girl has hasa." I was like, "Yeah, that's weird, but like, is she gonna break some?" She's like, "I don't know." And then he told me, and I was sad. I could cry. Like,
This
You-
one could be a
sick.
target,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
pretty easily,
Yeah.
especially for one time. Maybe they won't like it, they won't buy it again, but or else they'll love it and they'll
Yeah.
want to do more orders.
So this is a point which I wanna explain. So when and this is what caused me some trouble. So for me, I have some business cards here and I have some notes here, and for me, I have the same business card somewhere else. I will have them in the same jacket, and in each one of my jackets at home, I have business cards.
Nice.
In each one of my jackets or in my car, I will have my material. Why? Because I don't know. As you said, you walk in pajama to Costco and you find your best customer waiting there for you to talk to, right? You never know. And my cards are also an invitation for my seminars. So my cards on the back of them, they are tickets to a free event.
That's cool.
You don't need to be aggressive like that. You can have any kind of collecting. You can have like a report, a technical report, or a study. Download a free study on the different venue to advertise your business. So I come to you and say, you know what? I don't want to give you my card. You know, I never met you before, but I want to build a rapport with you. You know what? We are now have to run home. But however, you know what? I don't want to give you my business. You don't know who I am, but I have this valuable resource for you to how to market your business in a different way, and we give it all away everywhere, and everybody like it. If you don't mind, just you can go to my website and download it. And by the way, my contact on the back if you need me. And I leave. If you will go and download this and put your email, you become what?
Yeah.
You become what?
Is that a prospect? No, before prospect.
You become what?
What's lead?
Targeted audience?
You become a lead.
Lead, okay.
I provide my contact to you in your website. What license this give you? To email and call. And it shows you also what?
We might be interested.
I might be interested. And you can be more if you have the right resources, you may develop on your website a small questionnaire. Did you advertise through magazine? Did you advertise online? Did you advertise? So you can actually qualify them with 3 to 4 questions. And in this way, what you will do now? You met the people in person. You know they went to your website through this special link. They answer the questions you need. What else is missing now? To give them a phone call within 1 to 2 days. That's it. Will this work and increase your business?
Nice.
Can you apply it? It costs less than $20 to print 100 to 200 business cards double-sided. So why you don't do it?
Yeah, so instead of just having your website.
You have
on
your
there,
website and you have
and then they go and they download your newsletter or whatever it is. Or your
not a
tip-
newsletter.
tip sheet or
Everybody
whatever.
has a
Not
newsletter.
but your tip sheet or whatever
Yes.
it is, information.
The most effective
But now-
advertising techniques.
But now it would be on your card too, so they could go directly from the card rather than.
Yes. When we
Yeah.
talk about product development, one of the product you develop is your business card. What's on the back? What's on the front? And my business card is the look. It is because my business card goes to Holistics. If you find any actions you can do, please write an action and write it down, and we can put a date to it and share it with the one next to you, or share it with me, and we can follow up that you take these actions. Information is a fantasy. I love to be an actor in a Disney movie, but I don't like in front of you here to be an actor in a Disney movie. I like you to take action. So apply what you believe will help your business. The following step is you have to qualify the prospects. So if you go to page 23, can you write down what kind of qualification you have for the prospects? What kind of questions do you have for the prospects? What sample of questions do you have? Kevin, can you share one question about how you qualify the prospects?
Do you see yourself as a leader, or do you want to become a leader?
What
Are you looking
other?
to grow your business? Are you looking to build a team?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? 5 to 10 years?
Okay, so can you write these questions on page 23? Some of the other questions is, have you used this service before? Do you use my service before? If somebody used similar service, what the conversation will be about?
I'd like to ask if they're the decision maker.
Okay,
that's
what
an
one
important
is the decision maker? But the point I want to ask is, if somebody come and say, I used similar service before,
It's either good or bad. It shows kind of like they
And
have
your
a history. So you
they
to
have a
figure
history.
out-
So your conversation will be centered around what? How are you comparing to the competitor? You know the word competitor? So if I tell you, yeah, I used workshops before and it never worked for me. So now but if somebody come and say, I never used such a service before, what your conversation will be around? Around the benefit of your service. Do you understand the difference? Okay. One of the other questions is, who's the decision maker, and if somebody will come and say, no, I am not the decision maker, what will be your answer?
Sure. Who can I talk to that is the decision maker? Like if it's a gatekeeper.
Okay, this is the wrong answer. Because you went back and you asked what? Direct question. Who can I talk to? Are you asking to interrogate him?
No, I think it was like, okay, I understand. Who else can I talk to?
Can you share with me? One of the tips is, can you share with me who else can you talk to? So if you use a sandwich technique, like, can you share with me? Would you mind doing me a favor? If somebody is relationship and they like to help people, will they do a favor and share with you or not?
Yes.
Or if somebody is process oriented, you can come and say, can we have a conversation about the structure of your organization for me to better understand who can decide?
Yes.
Make sense? Okay. So qualifying the prospect is very important. Remember, we identify customers when?
We define them
When they pay money, that's right. So in terms of qualifying the prospects, you should also ask questions about their budget and what they do. Okay? Now, there are 4 questions for qualification. The number 1 question will be, does the prospects need what you are selling? Does the prospects need what you are selling?
Sorry, where are we right now? We're
The following-
qualifying the next page.
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
So does the prospects need what you are selling? Question number 2, can the prospects use what you are selling? Question number 3, can the person afford the product? And question number 4, does the person want the product? So if you go to page 24. Okay. And as you see, we have, so do you have any other qualification questions? Or how can you phrase these questions? Because you're not standing in front of them, you are the prospect. Do you need this service? We don't say this, okay? So you can ask questions, so you can actually rewrite these questions based on the service you provide. Okay? Make sense? Do you have any other qualification questions?
Well, I'll ask, if a lot of their clients, or where most of their clients come from now, what communities do they get most of their clients from now? And that'll give me a general idea. Our distribution areas will work well for them.
And I 100%, it's very bad to disagree with somebody pay you money, that's right? Especially in the first 2 hours, because you may be upset and leave, that's right?
But usually I kind of know because of the history. I kind of know
No.
different businesses and
I,
kind of
I
like
I
where
completely
they're
disagree
located.
with what you said.
But this is when I'm meeting them. In, like I know where their business is.
Okay.
I know.
The question to you is
Mhm.
how you can grow your business. Just to take us on a tangent right now.
Mhm.
And this is not part
Are
of
you
this
talking
course.
to me or the client? Well, I'm talking to the client.
General theory, how you grow your business.
How do I grow my business?
Anybody, how anybody can grow their business. What are the different theories are? How we measure our business?
Well, new clients. New clients.
One of them. So
Yeah.
how we grow our business? We measure our business through two things. Through profit or through sales or through income. That's right. So I want to grow my business by increasing profit or by increasing my income.
Mhm.
Is increasing income means increasing profit?
No.
Not necessarily if you are not careful, that's right.
Mhm.
Because you may spend more time on advertisement, more money, and you get more income, but you cannot serve them well. So it costs you more to serve them, so you basically don't get them. So how we can increase our profit? Number one is we can increase prices.
Mhm.
Make sense?
Mhm.
I will double my price for now. So you pay me 400, is 800 now. Pay me more. Doesn't matter. Okay.
Mhm.
Why, man?
No, I just like that.
It's an actually.
It's a line. So
Actually,
it's always a fine line. You don't.
I
know.
can share. I can
Yeah,
share with
that's-
you a story. I had a friend. She sells Indian jewelry, and she has this turquoise set, which nobody really wants to buy. She had them in the store. She had them front and center. She had them everywhere. So one time she went out for a vacation, and she told her associate, "Would you?" She said, "Okay, so what should I do? Like I put them everywhere. I run every promotion." So she said before Christmas that she wants to reduce the price by half. So she wrote a note to her associate, just multiply the price by half like this. So when the associate read this number, what this number means to you?
Times by half.
Times two.
This means time 2. Because the way it's written like this is roughly times 2. So what happened is the associate follows the instruction not to be fired, doubles the price by 2. She sold out of 27 sets in 2 hours.
Are you sure you didn't read this out of a book? I've heard this.
This is
in
a true
book.
story. I've heard this about paintings.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a true story.
Yeah.
You know? Why? Because in jewelry market in particular,
Mhm.
quality means what?
Higher price means better quality.
Means value, means dollars. So in jewelry market, the more expensive, we have perception of value.
Mhm.
That's it. So I have customers who came in here and they were selling in Vegas and selling in different places. And when they came, I said, why you don't go from $475 to $1,200 a weekend? The guy, are you crazy? We don't have people buying $475. I said, okay, it doesn't matter. You will not have people for $1,200. Do you mind having a practice this particular approach? When they went for $1,200, the second event was sold out. The first event was not doing as great, but it was doing similar to the 475. The next time, they had more people coming in because people admire if it's expensive. Okay, so doubling your prices is not bad. If you have in front of different customer set or different clientele, they only admire these prices. That's why we run workshops here at a fraction of these workshops will be delivered elsewhere, because in the community people don't really, there's a say that singer in the same community will not entertain the community. So we are here practicing and getting material out. But if we go outside of town, you have to increase your prices. How we can also increase profit? By reducing cost. And if you are the only one doing the work, you cannot reduce yourself, okay? So how else we can increase profit?
More units.
More upselling. So if we sell more, so if we can upsell them more product. What is the last one? Increase number of customers. So coming to your point, when you tell me where are your customers coming from, I will tell you they are coming from around downtown.
Okay.
The last place I will market my business with you is downtown. I will market it elsewhere because I will have new clients and they're similar to downtown.
Yeah, well, it's just my business, my clients are a little bit different. They're more, like it's a dry cleaner. People aren't going to drive from downtown to a certain area. Generally, it's about a 10-kilometer radius. People would come. So my business is a little bit different. So for me, that's one of the, because if they're a hair salon in the north and they're just a regular hair salon, I can kind of find out right away, like based on where they're located, that our product wouldn't work for them. So it's saving us both time, right? So that's why that's a qualified question for me.
Good. If this is,
for me,
I am not
different.
here to drive your business. I'm just, what I'm here is
Yeah.
I'm like, you know the mirror in Cinderella movie?
So what?
The mirror in Cinderella movie? I'm like the mirror. You talk to me, I talk to you back.
Okay, uh-huh.
So I like when we challenge the propositions, and then you come back and say, oh, this is the way I'm doing the business. It's your call. I'm not running your business. However, what I'm saying is, when I work with this restaurants downtown and we increase the demographic to 6 kilometers, they had more than 3.5 times the customers.
Yeah,
Because-
and that's downtown,
because-
people will come from all over potentially for downtown,
You know?
but someone's probably not going to go to Millrise if they live downtown.
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
That's
But you don't know
That's a
the
little
person
different.
though.
I don't know. There are people who are shopping for deals, and there are people right now with Skip the Dish and all kind of service. You can have it delivered, even dry cleaning. People will just pay for the light. There are individuals will go for a promotion in a far dry cleaner, and they use service to delivery because they help a family to survive with that service, and they pay the same price as the dry clean next door to them. You'll be surprised. But my point to you is, if you look for customers, for some businesses,
yeah.
might not be. For restaurant, for sure, is not the same demographic. Okay? I did lots of restaurant work. I didn't do any dry cleaning work for business, but I did lots
Yeah,
of business.
Most dry cleaners will only deliver in a certain area
Yep.
as well, but it depends on the business.
It depends on the
obviously,
business.
Yeah.
So that's good if you have another qualification questions. The other feature we have to understand, which will be on the following page, is you have to have the desire has to come that the prospects wants to close. So you should make the prospects really excited. He wants the service. He wants to move to the next step. Okay? Why closing is difficult? So why do we fear closing? Why?
From
Rejection.
Fear of rejections is one of them. So some of us would like the company, would like the dialogue, and do we feel if we ask you to buy, you will not buy and you will go away, but we lose you, we lose the connection. So
It's done. Yeah.
so when we go to so many of this meetup, we know these people, we never really offer them our service, because we know if we start to offer them their service, we are fears that they will say no. And you'll be shocked, my service in particular, almost everybody in the community I go to, they really in need of what I offer, of one aspect or another. So we have to overcome this particular fear. So closing has to come naturally from us. We cannot just ask for the sale if we are, what you said, sales job. If we are in sales job, we have to switch our mind that we are not in sales job. We are selling all the time. Agree? So if somebody will come, like the next one will be they back away. And whenever experience and people reiterate is, if somebody will come and say, let me think over it, what does it, how can you approach him again?
It's like I can understand why you would need to think this over, and then.
How you close it?
how
What's
do
the
you
best
close it?
closer? Yeah.
Or are you just wanting to get more information though? Is that what you're trying to do?
This is good.
Find-
This
find-
good answer is do you want to get more information so you can think about it? Would you like to keep this package? Would you like to have my package? You can have information access point, which means do you have a package for your service with you?
With me, no. Oh, I think I do in the car actually, but
How many of us don't have a package for their business? Many. Many people will not have a package, will not have a signing sheet. For me, any event I do, I have at least 2-pager. One information and one on the back for people to sign on.
So by giving that, you just want them to read it?
Okay?
You just
If you want to close on providing information, and the next step on this closing is you ask them, when do you like to discuss it again?
Nah, man. Nah. I think what I like to do is, what do you want to think about? Or this, it's, so if you're going to think about it, that means you're interested, right? And then from there, I can go deeper.
Okay?
That's going to add more time to the deal, right?
This is good, and I like it if you can apply it.
Yeah.
However, if you come through a series of communication and the guys are not ready to buy, and the event is coming in 3 weeks from now or in a month from now, it's a very legitimate for them to say, can I think about it? Or I would like to think about it. So the best closure at that time will be what? Great, take your time to think about it. I can provide you with more information. When do you like to discuss it again, or when can I call you back? Whatever you said is also good. If you see yourself having enough time with them to keep going for another 2, 3, 5 minutes, you can say, yeah, tell me what do you want to think about it.
I guess it depends if you've gotten a lot of the objections out already,
Yes,
and then you're at that point that really you just
yes, yes. And that's why we cannot teach this course as abstract level. Okay? From a car salesman perspective, your approach is right. Because you say, okay, so what do you want to think about it? Here is all the option. Would you like to come and see the option again? You know, if you walk out from the store, you have no access to the options. I can give you the catalog, but you don't know the catalog is comprehensive of all the models, and you don't have the exact option. Would you like to come to the car again? And if you like to come to the car again, I close on a demo. Because if they go back with you to the car, now you close this point and you start again another conversation. So it's function of what you sell, and function of what you practice, you feel comfort with, and you can take it forward. Make sense? If somebody say, can you leave me some material, what will be the what could be an interesting approach? Can you leave me some material? Yeah, I'm interested, but can you leave me some material? I would take it to a next step, and I would say, we have tons of material. I would rather have a customized offer for you, so I can leave you with more relevant material to you, because I don't want to waste your time reading some other material. That's right. Could you call me back next week? I have to talk over with someone else. I have to check out first. I cannot afford it, and so on. When somebody will say, I have to talk to somebody else, what is the problem now?
It's out of your hands completely.
Not really.
They're relaying it based on.
Not really. It's not out of your hand completely. The problem is, we are brain, heart, feet. Do you know who the opposing party will be? Majority of the time, when you go home, if you are a heart dominant, your other half will be brain dominant. If you are a brain dominant, your other half will be heart dominant. So the conversation will be something like that. Oh, I want this event, I think is good. She will say, oh, I don't feel so. Majority of the scripts will be in the majority of the overcoming objections will be somewhere in the book. The one I said. Okay,
Thanks.
see ya.
See ya.
So when I stand here with somebody, I say, I think this program will work for us. And she will say, no, I feel it doesn't. Do they talk the same language? Okay? So when someone say, I need to talk to someone, what will be the more legitimate answer? I know it's a big decision, and you have to consult with your personal partner and partner in life. However, would you like me to be part of the conversation so I can answer any outstanding question you may not be equipped by now to answer it? That's right. So when we sell a $50,000 solution, the question will be, can we pick up the phone call? I have my schedule right now. Would you like to set up a teleconference so I can answer the question? So when you inject in between two persons, what you do now? You are talking to what? You are talking to both brains and heart. Make sense? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
It makes it more difficult then. So how?
It doesn't make too much. It doesn't make it more difficult. Is you have to be trained how to talk to both qualities. That's right.
Yeah.
Or you have to bring somebody else expert who can talk to both qualities together. It's not hard.
But wouldn't you just be focusing more on the other one? The phone call initially?
What if the other person feels left out? Because I just want to ask.
Well, they don't
question.
realize that you're talking to one or the other. They think you're still talking to both of them. You're just using different
Yes.
language.
Interesting.
You will use different language, and you can actually interchange the language. So say, so what do you think about this solution? And do you agree? Do you feel? You can actually hold them both in conversation. So do you think about that? Do you agree? To get them to agree. So the point is, I'm not here trying to explain how you can talk to the different qualities in the same room. What I'm trying to explain here is, if you have objection of, could you call me back next week? I have to talk to somebody else. How you can take it to the next step. One approach is to say, is great. I would love to be part of this discussion. Another approach to answer this is, we have a money back guarantee. So would you like to sign up for the service? No question asked money back guarantee. So you can have this lovely folder with all the information, so you can share it with your partner and you can have an informative decision. All what does it take is put your credit card here and put your zip code and your name, and you can walk away with all of this folder. And guess what? If you call me with it, we don't process your credit card. If you call me within 10 days, tell me I'm not interested, no question asked, it will not be charged. However, my boss will not allow me to release this material without having a credit card. Did you understand this conversation? What's your feedback on it first?
What's my feedback? What do you mean by that?
Like, how can you reflect on this conversation?
Yeah, I could reflect, like, after the purchase.
No, this before the purchase. Is somebody saying, like, can you tell it to me?
Well, I don't know. The last little bit is taking it out of your hands. It's not your your boss is making you that you have to have the credit card. Otherwise, you would just give it to the guy. So you're kind of doing him a favor, but it's out of your hands.
Okay. If you sell $50,000 solutions, you can use these approaches and these techniques. However, what does this imply or imply? You have what?
Value.
A folder. So do you have a folder of your service? Do you have a folder that I can open and I can see a sample of every single product I do, or you do? Most of us don't have. That's right. So when you exercise these objections, you may discover that you need to have what we said now. You need to have samples in your car. You need to have a contract in your car. You need to have folders. You need to have subscription sheets.
Yeah, I guess I never thought of. I should have.
Okay.
More in my car. I just have like the very basic basics.
You ask the one next to you why she doesn't have the sauce. Okay. I'm not challenging you. I'm not trying to make you feel bad here. What I'm trying to do is.
That's good. It's more ideas, right?
It's if I understand the objections, and guess what? If you go on the street and practice these objections, you will find yourself always faced with like 4 to 10 maximum. There are 83 in this book. Okay, and we're still in page 2, and this book is more than 300 pages. So, and almost every page you can write notes on it. So we will keep going. However, what I'm explaining here is your sales cycle may dictate what you need. Okay? And if you do it on the phone, you may ask, okay, can I get your email so I can email you the package right now? I was doing it to somebody and I found out that their server is actually blacklisted.
Whose server?
The prospect on the phone.
Oh, shoot.
So I sent them 6 phone calls. I sent them 6 emails. And the owner of the business wants the 4 sales team to come to this workshop. And because their business is blacklisted, my spam filter does not allow emails to them.
Oh, did you know that?
I knew this yesterday, Monday, because I made phone call to my internet service provider. I said, what's up here? There's something not right. So what they said, we'll investigate it. Within 40 minutes, they send me, this server is blacklisted on our outgoing server. So none of my emails, because I have 2 servers. I have the Badawi server, which is personal servers, and I have the Win Your Brand server, which is for my business. So if one of them will break, I can use the other one. And you accept to get email Badawi at Win Your Brand or info@winyourbrand.com, and you accept also to get emails from me from Badawi at badawi.ca or Badawi at wildbadawi.com, because it's me, that's right? Okay. So, but these are 2 different internet service providers. And both of these 2 internet service providers confirm that this server is actually blackmailed, is blacklisted by Google. So no, they don't communicate message to this server. So it's very interesting to know. So if you are on the phone, these are the things to watch for. You have also to watch that when I send you an email, the email does not come right away. The email may take some time. So if you have somebody on the phone and you want to provide them information, you should make it simple. So if you make it simple, there's something called bit.ly, bit.ly / and you put your acronym. Because nobody here will sit and write more than 10 characters. So Win Your Brand is the maximum anybody can write, which is 11 characters. winyourbrand.com, because they can spell it out. But if my business is your holistic earth practitioner you understand? So you have to make it easy for them to access. The challenge you have when you be on the phone is if you send them email, they say, oh yeah, the email is coming. Usually it takes 5 minutes to open. So you should not send them email. You can think alternatively about using a bit.ly shortening URL.
It'll be quicker.
Because it's bit.ly / 5 characters. You can spell them out to them. And they can type it in front of them. And instantaneously what they have in front of them. Your web page. It can be a landing page, it can be a contract page, it can be a downloadable link, so they can, you go here, you click here. So you always look at making it simple for people to work away. Now, you have to understand. Any questions? Is this useful information? Can you apply, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
What page are we on?
Sorry?
What page are we on?
I No, we are on this. We are on fear of rejection, which will be page 28.
Okay.
So we want to understand that, and this is supposed to be reference material. So I'm not like I will share with you there's a couple of parts of this book very valuable for you to read every day, or to read some of these sections every day. The rest of it is just for you to make sense, because what I found out with even the recording, when you walk away, and if you write too long, you'll not have connection, you will not understand. So we have to talk about fear of rejection. So why do we not like to sell? Because we have fear of rejection. What is the word of rejection? No.
Oh.
So when the fear of rejection is no, what no means?
I mean, not enough information, not now.
So that's good. So no
Could be
does not
never.
mean no.
Depends.
No does not mean no. No can mean not now, not ready, not interested, because I am busy, I am overwhelmed, no time. Does no means I don't like you?
No, it's not personal.
It's not personal.
Well, generally.
Yeah, generally.
It's not personal. What do you mean? What do you mean? You sat here with somebody with an accent. I don't believe I'm ugly as whoever ugly is, and
No, but it depends. It depends. Sometimes no means that they don't like you, and that's why you send in a different sales rep to see if maybe they'll click.
and I like what you said. I like what you said. I really like it and I appreciate it. However, if I understand the personality connections, I have no place for them not to like me. Like this quadrant was so powerful to me that I had 42 years of my life running through my back mind, and I knew every single objection, every single conflict, every single acceptance, every single success, why I was successful with these people and why I had issues with these others. I see it all. And I was able to go back using these triggers to be a friend of everybody, even my enemies, which I hate them. But in front of them, I can hold meaningful, fruitful conversations. So if you understand the personal quality of people and you are willing to play the game and practice, I don't have a position. However, to show you that you are also excellent, correct, it's not because you pay me money I have to accept that you are correct. However, you are correct. When we say all, what all means in percentage? When we say everybody, means what in percentage? It means 80%, and there are those 20% who will be different. So when I say everybody in this room will buy from you, does this mean 100%? 100%? No. It means the majority.
Majority, okay.
Why the 20 will not buy? There is no reason for that. However, we understand another aspect of buying behavior, that if you are selling right now a product, how many customers are currently looking for this particular product in percentage of the lifetime buyers from your products? If people who are buying now usually are 3%
That's all.
of the market. And when we go through these particular classes of people attitude now, it will make sense, and then I will tell you where this information came from and what percentage relevant to your market.
Yeah.
There are people who will buy in the near future. So somebody will buy when an event will happen in the near future. What's the percentage here? 7%. Okay? Make sense?
This is new clients.
This somebody will buy in the near future. Somebody will have an experience right now. So you will keep selling us, and then I will walk in the stairs here. I will stumble upon somebody who may be reading your publication and say, yeah, you know what? I know that I will call it. I want to publish now. You say, why didn't want to include an ad from the beginning? Oh, because I see somebody. Someone will go and start to drive his car. It's very cold. He will start to drive the car. The car does not start. What they will do? They will go buy a new car. Somebody will just have a party, and they think, oh, we need to have a unique flavor. Oh, let's just get the African food. There is something happening in the near future. There are also people who will buy when circumstances will change. Their business grow. They had a new kid in the family.
Tax refund.
Tax refund. So when circumstances will change, how many of them are from your lifetime customers? The statistics showed these are 30%. Okay? There are people who will buy, but they are not aware of your service. I know you, I never know what you do. And we have been together communicating like a week or so. I'm not aware of what you do. I am not aware of your benefits. You know what she's selling, that's right? But you are not aware of her benefits, that's right? You are not aware of this, that's right? So there are people who are not aware of the brand. And 30% are not aware of you. And there is people who will not buy for no reason, and this is our 30%. The question to you, are you in conversation with which one of these you want to talk to convert them to be buyer? Which one is more fruitful for you?
Buy now.
Buy now? If I want to buy now, what's my judging criteria? What's my decision criteria? What's my trigger? If I want to buy now?
Urgency? Oh no.
I have urgency because I'm buying now, but what is my main criteria to buy? What comparison I will do? I will compare what to what if I want to buy now. If I'm a modern buyer. If you buy, what last things you bought from grocery store?
Grocery store?
Yeah, last things you bought.
A million things.
No, what was the last things you remember you bought?
Bananas. And
Banana. So if you go and buy banana from grocery store, what you'll be looking for?
Not too ripe.
What else? What else you'll be looking for? If you have like 6 types of bananas in front of you, all of them are bananas yellow, all of them are yellow.
Yeah.
And all of them are ready to eat right now. What is the factor you look for among the 6 brands?
Prices and amount that you're getting for the price.
This is what she said. So when I go to people who are buying now, I am in the red ocean of bloody competition on prices. So if somebody is shopping right now, what should I give them? Discount. Because they compare his price to your price. Do they really need to know more about the value?
They want to buy.
They just want to buy.
I find it's just you make it quick and easy for them. Sometimes that's just
quick and easy means money. But the point I want to elaborate to is, if I understand the value, if I get separated from my want to my need, I am looking now into what as a major factor. Remember, it's 80%. There is 20, which is the odd, okay? So if I'm looking for you right now to buy your product and compare to her product, what is the main factor for comparison now? is pricing. When price is important for me, and this is my deciding criteria, I'm not open to listen to your value. I don't care much about your benefits. So a conversation in price will happen here. You need to add options. You need to increase value against investment. You need to give value added. You need to give an extra 1 month extra. 12 months and 3 months at no cost. Free trial. That's right. If you target somebody in this area, what conversations they are interested?
Value, benefits.
Mainly value and benefits. So here they can articulate the benefit because they are in the shopping mode. If somebody is not aware of your service, what they need to know? They need to know comparison to your competitor. So this percentage came from where? From the General Motors statistics on how many people will buy vans. Will you drive a van?
Maybe one day.
I will never buy a van. Okay, I just don't like vans. I can drive them, I can rent them, drive them for fun, or when I have a big family I can. But are really interested to buy a van? No. However, they found out that there are 3% right now in the market buying vans. There are 7% when their van will not start, they will go and buy a new van. This is 7% of their market. They found out when they have a small family, the small family will grow up with another kid. Most likely the parent will go and find and buy a new van because they have new kids. So 30% of their 10 years customer, when they did the study, they found 30% of them, they just come to buy a van because they have new member in the family. Which is not justification, because you can buy a 4x4 as big as a van, okay, and you can have an extra step, so it will be like, actually it's much higher than a van, so it's much better. But so, and then they found out that there are 30% of their customers, they never heard about these vans before. They are not aware, and there are 30% like me. So if your market is here, and for sure you want to add this, you will talk a different language. That's right. You need to provide information. So if somebody will say no, as you mentioned, that they don't like me, I have to get somebody else on the account. We talk about 20%.
Yeah.
We talk about 30% here. So what's our role as a salespeople? Our role as a salespeople is to go through people, sorting individuals we meet. They are interested in our service, and position them in these 4 buckets. Do they need more information about us? Will they buy in the future? Will they buy in the near future? Are they in buying mode right now? That's it. Does this make sense? So do you apply this model?
A little bit, yeah. The problem is that because I used to have telesales reps, so it was kind of always moving people through. But now that I don't have that, I find that I really focus on intuition and the buy nows in the near future. But then the thing is, you need to keep doing it, but it takes a lot of more time, or it takes more.
However, with attitude, which is there's an attitude in the and behavior changes in 2014. That we became more addictive to this.
The whole online thing and all that. You could be bringing that.
Like this technology is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like somebody was saying. This phone make you change from your camera, make you change your pager, make you change your communication. Don't let this phone change your family, and leave your social media and talk to your family. Somebody was having this post yesterday. It gets my eyes. Like I have tears, and it really gets me. These machines, 2014, became standard component of our daily life. people will spend about 5 hours and 17 minutes average on it.
Oh.
So in this domain, I can build the strategies here, which is autonomous.
Yes,
It doesn't
I
need
to
me.
do a lot more of that.
It doesn't
Right,
need me.
That's what I absolutely need. Yeah.
And it doesn't need lots of money. It doesn't. It may not need money at all, because I don't have to run Facebook ads. I can run Facebook ads for $20, $100. It's not expensive, but I don't need to run Facebook ads. I can basically, when I have time, I go and post in a specific location. I can hire a virtual assistant or ask my friends to share my posts. However, I need to have a foundation where I can have this virtual presence, so I can communicate with more people with my value. And this is another topic on its own. We have it in our training. It's not the topic of today. It's just you brought it in because you have this discussion, and I'm telling you, yes, people will not buy from you because they don't like you. It's okay. 30% of them, not bad. There are 70 there. You don't have time for this and this, it's not a big deal. Not aware of your service is good. You can have a Facebook page, you can have a LinkedIn page, you can have a Twitter going automatically for no extra cost every couple of hours or every 4 hours or every whatever routine you want to remind people you exist there. Suddenly the brand will be aware. So now these people can be moving forward. You can use the card trick, the personal card trick, so people can come to you. You don't go to them. Now,
What was that, a personal what?
the personal card, when you have the information in the back,
Right.
so people will come to you. You don't
Yeah.
go to them. The question will be is how many of these owners of you said what you said, laundry, how many of this laundry
Or like dry cleaning?
or dry cleaning, how many of them are really online?
Well, all of them are.
Not necessarily. You have to verify this. I had somebody here.
Well, what does online mean? They're
They
emailing.
they spend the time on their Facebook. They spend time
On
on
social media.
on social media.
Yeah.
So if someone does not have a social media presence, will not be attracted through social media. They have to be attracted through the old techniques. So I had individuals who work on past life regressions, and they work with like 65 plus years old. These people are not on social media. Full stop.
Yeah, it's changing fast though.
I know,
yeah,
but
still.
still,
Overall.
So you need to qualify,
Yeah.
and you need to understand that the rejection is not personal. Any more questions? This particular part?
So is this kind of like, you know, like the 80-20 rule? It kind of almost applies to any industry, blah, blah, blah. Are these numbers kind of similar for almost any industry, or is this
Very close.
more the vehicle?
Very close. Very close. Like if you assume 5% error, so the 3% will be what?
8%.
Will be 8%. And which is true. How often you go on Christmas shopping and you decide, oh, this is a nice brand, but I'm not ready for it. I will buy it next year. And next year you went to look at this particular brand. How often you have this?
Oh yeah, you're always moving through that funnel.
That's
Yeah.
right. So it doesn't matter what this percentage relevant to. What matters here
You're
is
moving that way.
your expectation of people who will be buying from you are about 3% of your energy. So if you spend
3%? What?
of your energy, if you spend 100 hours working on this, you will be closing sales for 3 hours. You will have 7 hours communicating with people who will buy in the near future. And if the event will happen, what will happen? They will sign. You don't need to talk to them. You will have 30 hours describing when circumstances change what will happen. You have 30 hours when you make them aware of what you do, which majority of the time you spend when you go to the stores, to the market, that's right?
Yeah.
And they are not buying right now, you accept rejection. But you don't do uniform, okay? Don't get scared. I'm not here to push you at 3% of your time selling only. But this, for people who come into this business, you say, yeah, you don't feel bad. It's not personal.
You'll spend most of your time there, but it's not personal.
You know, it's not personal. So the statistics, you can find your own statistics. You can find your own criteria.
But you're saying is that when they're at the buy now phase, you really focus on not just the benefits and the value, but make sure there's a price incentive.
Price, guarantees, promotion, 1 for 2. And it doesn't mean you have to reduce your prices.
Yeah.
You can actually add other features. That's why for me, I have like you came in here today, you'll have the video recording. The video recording will be hosted on my website. How much will it cost me to handle the whole website a year? A very fraction. So I give more value. How many workshop or course did you go to? And you have a full recording of the actual real-time event. Does this give me a unique feature? Is this useful for you? So I drive a very valuable feature. How much extra effort I have to do? I train myself how to speak. Is one extra 2 or 3 touch point, maybe 1 hour editing, and then the production will take like 6 hours or so, and that's it. The one who produces it for me will do it for me. And then I can, so you should be able to provide such a value. So for example, you can give them a monitoring service, which they can go to a portal online. You can give them sometimes when you do service like personal development, you say, can you provide them meditation sequences? Can you provide them extra readings? Can you provide them extra strategy sessions? Can you provide them extra checklist? The minute you get your service from selling a product to selling group of what they get, nobody will know how much is a quarter page, how much is a half page, how much is the 1/8 of a page, because this is a business you are in, this, right? Nobody will know, because now it's not 1/8 of a page for one of $8. It's not
yeah,
like
it's
that.
like you're getting a bundle of
This is a package, a
Yeah.
bundle. You get my time. I can give you a strategy. I can. Now, how much on the back end from you this will cost you from time? You will find that this is the minute you build it.
Yeah.
The minute you build it,
But I find the strategy side, I want to give them anyway, so that they'll actually get results. So I'm like, I give that anyway. So I'm
now, do you have a strategy books? Do you have an e-books on marketing strategy?
No.
Do you have a questionnaire? Do you have
No
a check?
questionnaire.
Do you have a
Yeah.
checklist? Do you have an infograph?
I do, but for myself. Or not an infograph, but the checklist and the questionnaires I have for myself to go through the process.
Are you ready to share it with them? And will you accept
To
that
give
your
it to them?
Yes.
No.
Because when I come to you, for a session, I come for you for a treatment of marketing pain. I'm not coming to you for an ad. So when we share with you samples of very successful ads with high turnover, and you can get this sample, I can show you where you can get it. It's different dialogue than just you position an ad. So I'm not only showing you how to position your ad, I'm also showing you what is the best content to attract people to an ad. I had an MBA with major in TV advertisement, okay? This is one of my backgrounds. So okay, so I'm talking about a little bit of science here. Without the science, there are so much information you can provide to them. The point is, I can have this like this is used to be like when I offered this course first time. This used to be, it has a something similar to this, like a page like this, and this is used to be my workbook. So why did I migrate from here to here? Because this is easy to handle. Okay, you can keep this. This you can keep this in your bookshelf. You can refer to it. That's right. So, believe me, the cost of printing this for me is much cheaper than printing this. And I provide value. And I have plenty of them in my car and my home. I have some here. When somebody will come and say, you will walk away with a book. First of all, do you agree that this book is valuable? Do you agree it worth every single cent and every single penny? Do you agree that every other page worth reading? I'm not saying every page, every other page. Do you agree on that?
I haven't read it yet, but
but it looks like it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not here bluffing about no value. I'm giving you value.
Right.
You know?
Well, it's added value I wasn't expecting.
Okay.
Right.
So now you look at this workshop. As I told you 2 hours ago, I can stop here and say thank you very much, guys. We're done for the day. The information is enough, and I'm keeping more value. So now you are more engaged. Consider this model in your business. Like you are selling advertisement and this is the product you are selling. What benefit do you provide them? Most cost-effective advertisement. So can you share with them infograph talking about the return of investment in other venues?
I could probably put it together.
You can put it together.
But it's not black and white. Like it's
It
not
doesn't matter. You put it together.
Right.
And what's the next step after you put it together? There are 4 steps. Document means put it together. Distilled means review it. Validate means what? Sharing it with others so other people will give you feedback. And then communicate. Tell other people. So any of this material you can do. When you do it, just be careful to follow the following. You have to document it first, mean design it. You have to distill, means make sure it's right. You have to validate, means sharing it with others. And then you communicate. So once you communicate the material, it becomes truth. So when I designed this workshop, first one, I had my own material, and I wish I can bring it here. It was not that much. And then this is maybe number 7 or 8 times this on its own, and overall service maybe this like 27 times to get this particular workshop, because it used to come as part of my other program. Maybe after 11 iterations I start to have these manuals, collect feedback on the material. It's okay. You don't have to share this with your customers, right? Or if you share it, they will appreciate that this is a constant development of work. This is not just somebody idea that, oh, let's have this and let's do it. Make sense? So yeah, you should come into this. Any questions? So
Okay, so hold on, let me just remember. Okay, so buy now, near future, buy what was it?
Change circumstances?
Circumstances.
Changing circumstance and
Not aware.
Not aware.
not aware.
Not aware.
Not aware. That's what it was. Yeah.
okay. So this is our system. So the other one is we have to expect sales resistant. So sales resistant expectation is one of the characteristics. So when you have expecting sales, you expect people will have resistance. Okay? So you expect resistance. Does anybody expect people to just buy what they want? Okay? Any questions? Now, after that, we go through discussions on closing, and I don't think you will need discussion. You can, I believe you can read it because they are self-explanatory, where we have 24 different levels of closing, okay? I wanna you to go to page 105. So on page 105, we want to talk about, and this is our classical approaches. Whatever we skipped from this workbook, we can talk. We will go back to visit it inside the follow-up sessions. Okay, so this is maybe barely the second session, and in like 10 minutes or so we have a break. But before we want to have a break, I want to talk about the 9 types of customers. This is a different approach. This is a different approach than the quadrant to understand different people behavior. Now, how many model you should know about people behavior? As many as you can, because there is no specific real science to understand our behavior. Unfortunately, we are so complicated as creatures that our behavior and our triggers are not easily observed. Make sense? So the only way for us to be master in this area is to understand, and then when you understand different theory, you can basically apply them once you feel like it. So this 9 type of customers behavior, it describes how a customer can react and what they are saying. So the first one, we call it the tribalistic customer. What's tribe means?
All what others are doing?
They follow others once they do it. So this customer, what do they need to know?
Tried, true.
They need to know that other people have been using your service. That's right. They need to know that people trust you. They need to know what? You are here to lead them, not to follow you, not to follow them. You are here to show them. Have you ever been in a conversation or a situation in front of somebody and they tell you, oh, you know what, I know what you talk about, you are not teaching me that. Did you hear this before?
A lot of people are like that.
What was it?
So these people, we call them white hat in this conversation. So when you would like to know if they would like to learn, you have to understand that some individuals, their behavior is a follower. They don't have the power to lead. So this individual, she will tell them what? Would you like to that we can sign together? Okay? Does it make sense? So the most important message here is they blindly accept beliefs and the preference of authority figure, a parent, a husband, a wife, or boss. To sell these prospects, be reassured that her purchase decision not free, willing, rational, or objective. So they don't really know and they don't really want the value. They will buy. If you are selling a summer retreat or a retreat in Maui for like $20,000, you'll be shocked how many people will sign in this retreat because somebody else in the community signed up for it. Did you have this experience before? As people will just come.
I guess I didn't know that was the only reason why, but
it's not. It's one of the primary reasons. So they really don't care about. They wanna. What will happen there? But all what they get as a message is so and so are going. So let's go with them. And you'll be shocked that one of my customers, she sells like $22,000 for 2 weeks, and all of her sales are like that. She pick up this few leaders. She will basically have 4 times the number of subscription because of this leader. That's it. Do you agree on that?
That's crazy.
It's not crazy. This is how people behave. How many of us will walk in a demonstration because somebody else is going in the demonstration? How many of us will rally? You know what rally means? You know what demonstration means?
yeah, for me, I'm not that person at all.
How many of us will run for a cause because somebody else is running for a cause? How many of us? No, you do that.
But going to an event, maybe, because it's like, it'll be more fun because you're with more people you know. But I'm not going to jump on something if I don't believe in it. I'm not talking about belief or not. I'm talking is someone is doing it, and you are doing it because they are doing it. You are following their lead. How many events? That happens, I'm sure, all the time.
How you have a daughter, that's right?
Even education, like university, a lot of people go there because it's the thing they do now, and everyone's doing it, and they're friends, and it's part of like being part of the culture here, right? Like, we need.
Did you hear about the Kiki challenge online?
Yeah, Kiki.
No.
Oh yeah, everyone's doing that too.
What is it?
People just dance to this
So
song.
like they'll get out of their car while it's moving.
Yeah.
So like they'll be like, a song will play, and then they'll get out, and then they'll just be like.
You're dancing next to the moving car.
Like people like almost like died and stuff. I swear to God.
There are people who went out from their car and they hit light power poles. There are people who went out from their car and they got hit by a car next to them.
Yeah.
There are people who went out and they fall down.
Yeah,
and people who went out and they forgot to make it on neutral, so the car went.
Oh no!
There are so many interesting things.
They did talk about a cow too.
It's I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
You remember the what they call it? The cold.
The ACL.
The cold bite. The ice bucket challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Nobody knew about ASL, but so many people did.
Yeah.
Just because they're friends.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
And no one know. Like this one was actually made for a cause, for a very respected cause.
Yeah.
However, how many of the people who have been copying it understands the exact cause?
No, not many. And even some people actually, after they found out about the cause, they didn't believe in it, but they had already done the challenge.
Okay, so we start to see this inside the online trending.
Yeah.
So if you have, I'm moderating a group called Work From Home, and we have about 300 to 1,000 new subscribers every day.
Wow.
The group itself is about a couple of 100,000 people, and we have between 300 to 1,000 subscribers on a daily basis, new ones. And none of the materials there is really useful because all of them are just getting you to have this commission on something, and I really couldn't figure out like which one should I use. And on every minute we have 3 to 5 new posts we have to approve. It's very interesting because it becomes a trend. People are joining for it.
Good. Other people are
okay.
part of it. Yeah.
If you watch the Art of Engagement speech I have, it talks about authority, it talks about social acceptance. It talks very clearly that if you can demonstrate a social acceptance to what you have, people will do. So how can I use a social acceptance?
It's like what she just said. You're like, it must be good if other people are doing it, but that's the mentality that kind of gets you when you see people doing it, and then you just do it without questioning it.
Look at Hitler. That's a little dramatic, but
okay.
it must be fine.
The alternative for that is the ego-centric buyers.
What was that egocentric buyer?
The ego-centric buyer.
Viral or buyer?
Buyer. We are talking about buyers. That's right. These are buyers. People who buy our products. So what is the egocentric buyer? It's in the next page.
Oh, the next one. Oh, okay.
What is the egocentric buyer?
Meaning?
I am not doing it on my dead body. That's right. So the egocentric buyer are buyers believe in salesmen as the ripoff. He counter by attempting to rip off you first. Anything goes to egocentric effort to dominate and win. Plays a game by egocentric values. If he plays con man, be better con man. If you play tough guy, you have to be tougher. These people are they have to fulfill their ego. They have to give you the blessing of their business. Okay? Did you know somebody like that in your customer base? When I do this exercise and ask this question after every single type, it can speak very well on the type of business you run. There is nothing wrong if majority of your customers here. Keep doing it. Don't say no for money. If you know how to convince other people, it's another expansion.
Yeah, well, if you want social media, it's kind of like a lot of businesses have gotten big just because of the whole tribalistic and just social. So actually I think that there's huge opportunity in the tribalistic now, more than ever.
However, you can always see the ego. And the problem we always face, I want to talk to my partner. What's the type of their partner? Do you know what's the type of their partner? We don't know. So if their type of their partner will be ego, what will happen now? She asked me to sign up, and I feel good about it. Everybody of my friends is doing it. No, I don't think it's useful. Why do you have it? You need to be different. You understand the conversation? So what we do with recognizing with this is to be better equipped to do what? To handle conversation. Make sense? There is a conformist buyer. So the conformist buyer they have difficulties of accepting other people's value. They try to get others to accept their own value. Value are subordinate to a philosophy, cause, or religion. Conformists seek product dependability, durability, cost saving, guarantee, brand name from reliable and stable companies. They need to feel comfort. How can you convince somebody to feel comfort about your product, which is not, I don't think anybody around the table here is big brand names, right? So how we can make them comfort? By speaking to what? Speaking to dependability, durability, cost saving, guarantees, comparable to stable and reliable company. Does this make sense?
Totally.
Okay, I have a question here for me. Is the font size good enough for you on this book, or is it too big, or is it too small?
I could go smaller.
You could go smaller, but
that's me. That's
but
me.
does this is this comfortable or not, or
but I think, but for using it in the class, I think the font is good. For reading it at home, I prefer smaller. Right? Like, you know, when you're reading.
It's up to you, but just I'm saying, like, I prefer to have it big enough so we can actually.
We can quickly find what you're talking about because it's larger in this environment. Yeah.
Okay. My role to address curiosity questions, so that's why I ask a question. So, among these three, there are different dialogue you have to. So how do I know is somebody from the conformist area? Looking at them.
They wash their clothes with Tide.
If you come somebody, look at them, and you see they have all this Chanel. Is this in your business? If you sell more, I don't know why I believe that ladies will buy from ladies, because Monica and everybody I know, like business checks and everybody, they just this all groups like blooming ladies, all of them, they buy from each other. They don't accept, but they have this culture of buying it. So when you walk in there and you see this lady who has Michael Kors bag, she has the Chanel, she has the Calvin Klein. You can tell. You can tell.
Is that conformist?
Yep.
Yeah. I thought that's more. Are those maybe luxury brands? Like they will care more about the value than the price. That's what I would think to myself.
Conformist said what? Brand name from reliable, stable companies.
Oh, brand name from reliable,
okay.
Stable. Okay.
Now,
yeah.
This is not a complete science. I have to be honest here and give you full disclosure. This is just demonstrate there are different qualities out there, and maybe we are 2 or 3 of them. We never know. That's right. However, you can clarify by asking questions. Having fun? Do you have fun with this material, man?
It's interesting. It's like different. I've never really considered it.
If I knew this material in my life, I would retire at 28 years old. I wouldn't need to wait till 38 years old when I retire. If I knew how this, I just it like, oh really? Does this is people can teach this material? Nobody taught us before.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm so new to it, so it's really confusing to me. So
if you have confusion, ask questions. The number 4, there are manipulative. How to spell it? Manipulative. So there are people who want to manipulate you. You have to watch for these people. How many hours do you work a day? I work 0 hours a day. I have fun in what I do, and this is what I keep me doing. Because I don't work. I worked only 6 months in my life back 1994, when I was doing my TOEFL and GRE, to go to do a PhD in the state. That's it. I don't work. I enjoy my life. I got annoyed from these people. So because I need to sustain my business, I need to have income to push my business to be sustainable, to pay my bills, to grow my business, to deliver my value. That's right. So how many hours do you spend per day having fun with your business? These people, manipulative, will always call you. They always look for more information. They always try to make you feel down. They always don't like what you say. They always challenge you. So when you have these people, you have to cap the amount of hours, because otherwise what will happen? What will happen otherwise?
They'll just suck the time out of you, time and energy.
They suck your time and energy out of you. Okay? So how many of them do you have right now in your life? How many do you have?
I don't know.
So what? Go back. Go back and figure out how many of them. And these individuals, sometimes you have to stop and be firm. Okay, you know what? I'm running out of time now. I need to close the deal. You have to make a decision in 2 weeks or in 2 days or in half an hour or not. That's it. You have to be careful of these people. There are more write-up about how the characteristics are. You have to be careful of these people. There are the sociocentric people. So sociocentric buyers, they like to socialize a lot. They they talk about a good cause. Okay. How many of you will donate money when they make money? So in all of my books and all of my services, we are, by the way, we are a not-for-profit organization. Win Your Brand is a registered trademark with an organization called Stand for Yourself, which primarily not-for-profit organization in Canada. So we donate the money, the leftover of the money, the profit we make, we donate to four charities. Primarily was to be Hungers, which is for kids, woman shelter, and there is one for cancer. This is the 3 charities, and there are some of our material will have the exact name. And then someone came with for homeless. So because of him working with me as a customer and paying us money, we give the homeless, we give the mustard seed some money. So there are individuals would like to come because I highlight this is my best donated charity. Do you have this in your marketing material? Do you have that you use an acid-free paper? Acid-free paper. Do you use that you recycle your material? These individuals who are socio-centric will be triggered with this piece of information. So how to apply this information? Go through your offer and look if you can expand and do this job. How some of us don't have enough money, enough revenue, enough income. It doesn't matter. Donate $100, man. Donate $1,000. Donate $100. Donate $1. If you make $20,000 a year right now, you don't have to disclose that. You are starting somewhere. Each one starts somewhere, right? How many of us start with a business with 0 income? All of us. That's right. Did you ever start a business with income? In the first week, you have to have 0 income. You're starting. That's right. So it doesn't matter. What matters is if your customer base are a function of this, they need to have the social responsibility. And the work you do for your daily job right now, they have this social responsibility, right? They have this.
Yeah, they just donate like I think $100,000 to Humboldt thing. So you're just basically trying to for your company to try to represent it as beyond.
Beautiful. So what I'm saying is, if you are targeting these customers, you should have a line somewhere in your about section about your company, where you say, we acknowledge the society, we acknowledge the environment, we donate, we plant. I know a lady, she will plant a tree for every single deal she is doing.
So just be like, we're just more than just a company, we're helping others.
Yeah, yes. Because if your customer base are in this area, and to be honest with you, if you don't want to work for money, you'll make more money than if you work for the money. If you serve people and you help them and empower them and give back, you will find the right customers will come in and pay you the right money. But you have to believe in it inside you, deep inside you. It happens.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that are working and they're making nothing too, right? But no, it's just saying I like it or whatever, but that's not from their heart.
It's not from inside.
Yes.
Okay? So it takes goodwill and the good practice for you to be in this mode, but I can assure you, when I was in this mode, I made money. When I really want to work to make money, money doesn't come. I'm not sure why. There is the other ones are they call it the existential buyers, and these buyers, they want to participate into the event. They want to participate into the trial. This might not be more relevant to you as a service, but if you are selling engineering solutions, you will find that these customers want to be part of developing the solutions. It may be relevant to you when you meet customers who want to design their own ad. So if you are an ad agency, this is what you are, right?
Well, we put out a community publication, but as part of it, we design the ads for them and everything. So
when you are a community publication and you put the ad in, how many of them wants to participate and design their own ad? This is the kind of customers maybe in your market. In engineering and technology market, this is a very common customer. The early adopter, the one who will come and they wanna experience and okay. There is also, we call them dedicated delayer. The dedicated delayer are similar to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they always delay. They want to always delay. They don't have to take actions. Okay? There are some aggressive language here which you can come and say, let's do it, and that's it. Then the other two before break, we talk about Mr. White Guy, and the third one is, the last one is the greedy customer. So Mr. White Guy is somebody with a white hat. Do you know what the white hat means?
No.
He is the seer in the room. Yeah. He's the one who will tell you what he wants to buy from you, why he wants to buy, and at what price, and when he is willing to sign. These people, you pray for their mercy to agree and accept with their blessing to sign your contract. Okay? If you are selling a luxury and high-end products, this is many of the people are like that. Okay? They don't buy because they need the service. Majority of the donations will be coming from these people. Like if you run, I know Mitch and other people, they work with me and they are mainly in the fundraising and the donation. These are their ideal clients.
Okay.
Okay? Why do you need to know about this class of individuals? Because if you are not ready to handle them, what you do? You acknowledge them and you leave them alone. Because if you upset them, what will happen? They will tell everybody. They will tell everybody. The egocentric guys are the same. If you upset an egocentric guy, what he will do? He will make you pay back. So these are, we call them sour relationship. So when you know this relationship, what you do with it? There are so many times I tell individuals, you know what? It's better not to sell than having the money and the pain with it. Because sometimes these people are very painful to manage. The last one, which is very important to spend some time with, which is the greedy customer. The greedy customer is somebody who will need and wants always to have what?
They want it their way.
A deal. I'm always having a deal. Can you give me more? Can you give me more? And if you understand, I'm not sure how you make your products and how you make your price structures. Your price structure should have at least 3 different rooms, 3 to 5 different rooms for squeezes.
Okay.
So when you have a price, you need to make it sweet, sweeter, sweetest. So if I sell you this for, let's pick a number. If $100, and I will give you, because you are here, it's $70, 30% discount. And the first, and because you attend the whole lecture, you have it at 50% discount. And the first 3 will have it at 30% discount. I have to make sure that this particular offer costs me what? Less than 30%, 30 cents, that's right? I'm not saying that this is standard price or standard number. But if I'm selling this for $100, I say the MRSP of this $100, and the one who will buy today will get it at 30%. The one who will attend the whole lecture to get the most value will be 50%. 50 cents or $50. And the one who will come first at the end, they will get them at $30. I have to make sure this costs me less than $30, okay?
Yeah.
Now, some of you will, if they watch my language, they say, okay, so what do you mean? Why you give them $70 and say, if you wait till the end, you will get 50. You will get at 50%, at $50. Why? There are so many people are greedy and they are hesitant. The one who care about the time and money and they need the value, they will pay me 70 and leave. The one who I need to spend more time to convince them, how I am pressuring them, by showing them 100, you pay 50 for it, so it's 2 for 1. And even better, if you sit at the end and you rush to it, it will be 30. So what I am buying from them is more time around the table. That's it. Do you understand this concept? Will this work for each one of you? Not necessary. So when you have pricing structures, you have to make sure you consider the greedy ones, because the greedy ones can really can really hammer you down. I know Anthony can ask a question, so why do I spend my time with these people? Very simple answer to you immediately. If I spend with her already 2-3 conversation or 2-3 communication, and now she is close, and let's assume she's greedy, okay? Will it be more effective for my time, more efficient use of my time to continue the conversation with her, or it's better use of my time to go to a new prospect, start from scratch? To continue, that's right? To continue, because with the new prospects, I will send 3 to 4 new communications, so I'm starting from scratch.
And I can be greedy again.
That's right.
I actually have greedy customers. I think it's just part of the negotiating for them, but they're really harsh up front and get a good deal, but then they'll like renew forever and be super loyal and great. But you know, as long as you give them their price, but they're actually some of the easier ones overall. You know.
I don't know how many of.
It depends.
I don't know how many of my customers will see this video, because my regular customers will see this video. as well. But I believe they will not drill to the videos all the time. But I can share with you, I have some of these greedy customers, and I got from them more money than the other customer, because what I did is I have my MSRP, my manufacturer suggested retail price for my offers, and I went in down for a price, I gave them discount. But the discount in real, it was much higher than everybody else came through the event. So I made a little bit more. Greedy customer can be handled in so many ways. One of them is you can give them a payment plan. So if I give you a payment plan with interest, is this more money for me or not? So if you come and say, I want to buy this service, I say, yeah, you know what, this service will go over 3 months. However, you know, if you are not ready, let's pay like half right now, and we charge like 5%, 10% interest. Okay?
Yeah.
Will this be
more?
More. Sometimes you have an extra seat, and you come and say, you know what, if you come this extra seat, the program will be like 4 weeks. So what about you can, instead of paying me $100, you pay me like $40 and then $20 for the rest of the weeks, because you know you are driving service. So if you run your leadership course over like 10 weeks, you can do something like that. You can tell people, you know what, instead of paying me the $400 or the $200 right away, you can pay me $40 right now, and every week. I know it's too much administration work at your end to issue receipts. However, would you rather having them or not? Do you understand the values?
Yeah.
Do you understand the formula? So handling greedy customers, it's making them feeling having a good deal and an excellent deal. It's very doable. You have
the last minute seats, or else you can say, if you give me a referral, I can give you money off, and then because they care about money, so.
Sometimes they care about money, which is good perception. However, what I found out, they care about their ego, that they have a good deal.
They've gotten the deal.
Yeah. A good example of that, how many of you will buy cereal? You know cereal?
Yeah.
You know these things, you put it with milk and eat in the morning?
Yeah.
Don't do it, man, because wheat is very bad for us. Sugar is disaster for us. And the milk has no value. So you'll be like a zombie all day long if you eat cereal, okay? Particularly Frosted Flake. Okay? I want you to watch for this. Go over to any store and you'll find the cereals. They are in 680 pack, they are in 1.2 kilogram pack, and they are in 400 gram pack, and they are in 260 pack. Sometimes you find the offer in the 400 gram, and they sell it for like 388 or something like that. If you take 388 and divide it by 400 gram, you will have a number on your calculator. Take the 1.2 kilogram, which is 1200, and divide it by the 699, you will have a smaller number, much smaller number, which means if you buy the king size or the big size or the family size pack, you pay much less at a regular price than the offer. The interesting piece of information from distribution of this food is stores most likely will sold out from the offer. Because you have this sign, while quantity lasts, 33% discount, the yellow tag or the red tag in some stores, and people will rush to the offer.
It looks more expensive too.
It's more expensive per the unit, but in reality, you save money on the pack, because the regular price for the pack, for this pack, is not 388. Most likely it's 460. And you can tell from the numbers I'm saying, they will be very close to what you have in the store, because I do have a real experience with these particular businesses. So it's very interesting that people who are looking for the deal, people who are greedy, not necessarily getting the best deal. Another example, you know for a fact that the no-name product usually is coming from the same factory. Do you know that?
Well, just sometimes.
Majority of the time,
Really?
in Canada, That's the same factory location. So they ship it as a white label. And the one in particular, Kirkland in particular from Costco, they do have double quality control check because the name of Costco is very important. So if you go buy a Kirkland product against the original products, Kirkland product might be better and it has more quality check than the other one. This is what they showed in the video on YouTube. And so in Canada, you can go buy these beans and these different products, and usually they came from the factory, same factory in Toronto. So I don't remember any brand names right now, but however I know. So we have this no-name chocolate, which comes at $1 100 gram. It comes from the same Cadbury factory, but it's no name, volume produced. That's why, and they don't have to worry on distribution. That's why they are side to side. What I learned is sometimes you go for the brand and you pay less money because the brand is on an offer, while the greedy people only getting the no name because they feel it's lower price. Because it's no name, it's supposed to be cheaper, it's supposed to be have a good deal, have a good value of the product. And you find the good brand or the branded beside it have a real offer. Okay? So these two examples should give you an idea that greedy is good for them, but not necessarily greedy is looking for money. Not necessarily greedy is going for a good offer. And the greedy can accept being told you had an offer without what? Having a real offer. Do you agree?
Say that again?
Greedy can accept to be told you had an offer without having a real offer. Because when you go buy the medium-sized cereal,
they don't want to know that though.
They don't want to know that, but they have been told you have an offer. Okay?
So being greedy is like you don't have to be offered or what?
You have to be offered a good deal, but the good deal does not need to be that as good as you believe for them to buy.
Okay, so them think when I think it's a great deal, but in actuality it's not as great as I thought.
They just want to know they're getting a deal.
Yeah, they just know it's a deal.
It's a deal, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give
too many times what we've seen is people will come and say, can we subscribe to this service? We said yes. Do you accept payment plan? Yes. How much is it? This is the price. This is the numbers. Okay. How much if somebody will pay in full? This is how much they pay in full. Do they really, if we come through the event, you have this special discount if you pay in full. That's great. Are you willing to set up the payment plan? They said, no, we'll pay in full. So why are you asking? Why are you asking?
Yeah, I see that.
Why do you ask about these all options? Sometimes I ask because what? If I have a plan, if I can charge your credit card, the credit card is funny. We had people come here and say, oh, can we pay by credit card? Yes. So can you scan our credit card? Yes. I have a Square, which is very simple. It's for free. You can scan, and also we have Infusionsoft and some other tools like PayPal, which is you can charge people through it. Okay. Do you accept money transfer, email money? Yes. Oh, okay. So, which one do you want to pay for? No. Here's the money cash. Why are you asking? Can you tell me why they ask? I know why. Can you tell me, you guys, why?
They want to visit? I don't know.
They just want to hear it, I guess.
They want to verify that we are legitimate business with bank accounts.
Oh, really?
We have services.
Okay.
Have you ever heard somebody saying, can I pay you by a check? Can I write Win Your Brand on it? Yes. Because my bank, I have Stand For Yourself, I have Win Your Brand. And both of them are registered. So my bank account handle both accounts.
Okay.
So, yes. How often you met a business where they say, oh, don't write the name of the business on the check, write my name?
Never heard that.
You met some people like that. How many times did you meet people who do have hard time accepting checks? How many times do you meet people have hard time accepting credit card and the ATM card?
I think back in the day, but these days
it happens to me often.
Really?
With my credit card because it's American Express.
Oh,
that's different. Yeah,
American Express, yeah.
They're like, no, we won't take it.
Yeah, that's one thing we don't take because we got rid of it because like one person in like 10 years had American Express.
Apparently,
if you are open for business, you have to be open to have money in any different ways. Full stop. If you are in business, will you say no for money?
But you know what? The only time it ever happened, he paid another way. So it wasn't a problem. From my experience, it's not.
What I'm sharing with you here, you cannot justify, you cannot advocate, you cannot just say anything. You just have to accept it from me. If you are in business, you have to make damn easy, damn simple, very simple, extremely simple for people to walk in, sign a contract, give you a check and leave. If I come and say, oh, you know what? You go to your computer and send me an email transfer. I only accept money email transfer. You know how many steps I have to take to send you a money email transfer?
People think it's so easy. For something else. It's a pain.
Yeah.
No, I have to first of all get into my app and then remember what's my username and then remember what's my password, which is something really bad. Or remember which finger of my fingers I put here so I can authenticate directly. Then I have to go and add you as new. Listen, this is serious now. Yeah. This is serious now. I have to add you as new contact. And then what will happen? They will call me from my bank to give me 6-digit validation code to add you as recipients. Then I have to go and just transfer $100 to this name. And when I said yes, they have to call me back, give me another 6 digits to verify the transactions. And if you are good enough to register in the no security question ask, you are good. But if you still not, the security questions, I have to put the security question and send it to you again. So this is literally, if I am your new customer, you are trying to get me through. And all what you say, oh, you know what? Go home and send me an email transfer.
And sometimes those cost money too.
Oh, yeah.
Away from costing money.
Yeah.
I'm not saying costing. I'm just.
Money, energy.
I'm telling you, like, if you come to me and say, okay, can I do business with you? Can you put me? Can you list me in your community center? You said yes. In community material. You said yes. With pleasure. What do you like? Yeah, I like this size. Can you have colorful? Can you? Oh, you know what? It's awesome. We have a deal. Thank you. Oh, can you email me the money? I wouldn't do it. For me, it's so painful.
I've never had anyone, just my accountant likes to do that for some reason, but yeah.
It's good for you because the money will be transferred right away. The money will be accessible to your account.
We do a lot of payment plans. We give our clients to payment plans.
So what I'm trying to explain here is, put yourself in your customer's shoes. If you ask them to do something, value how much painful they can get through. Okay? How are you doing for the time? You want to keep going?
Are you guys good? Yeah, a little bit more.
It's 2 o'clock right now.
I'm okay. I'm glad
we have been here for 2 hours and 30 minutes, okay? So let's just have a quick break or having a lunch break if you like to.
Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.